After my last video where I not ranked, but talked about 10 characters of like the new Nickelodeon Smash game coming out, I thought I would go back and look at some games from my past that I remember playing, but I hear like not very many people talk about. And since Jimmy Neutron was on my list, I thought I'd talk about one of probably his best game, Jimmy Neutron, Attack of the Twonkies. Now, I don't remember how I got this game. Probably Christmas, birthday, like how most kids get their games. But I remember liking it for what it was. I haven't played it in about a couple years since I bought it on eBay, just for nostalgia's sake. But how about we go back and look at the game and see how it compares to our modern capabilities of video game standards.
Before I start with the game, let's give a brief summary about Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron was a show created by John A. Davis and Keith Alcorn, and it's a CGI show about a genius and his friends getting up to some honestly weird-ass adventures that aired in the 2000s on Nickelodeon. It had 3 seasons plus a pilot movie. It was okay. A brief summary behind the game is not really much one. As much as I could find was this publisher and the reason it was made. The tie-in was the special, which all not really follows the special all too much. I mean, I rewatched special just for this video, and the only thing it has common with the special is the monsters, the beginning, and the title itself. Either way, the game was published by THQ Australia, a subdivision of THQ until they went out of business in 2013 and became THQ Nordic. The THQ at this time made these games, which are probably your childhood in general, and these games. Yeah, THQ is kind of a mixed bag. Not that I'm complaining, it's just they are. So, let's start with the plot. Basically, Jimmy showing off a model beginning a class of Twonkies 3 that's coming into orbit. Quick side note, why is Cindy's hair different than it is in the show? She has her twin pigtails from the movie, while in the show she has a ponytail. Yeah, okay, I don't get the change, but whatever. Jimmy's principal comes in, saying Great Star, their version of putting a generic rock group for the 2000s here, is coming to perform at their opening ceremony, which I don't get, but what are you gonna do? Their teacher, Miss Fowl, who literally is a fowl by the sounds of her voice, is excited, as was their class. Sheen is excited to join the chorus, while Carl can't wait to give Pet. These do not involve the plot anymore anyway, but I just want to mention it. So you go back to Jimmy's house, and I'll start talking about the gameplay a little bit here. So the basic of it is you jump around and collect these invention pieces that let you create inventions. Fortunately, 98% of the inventions you create you will not be using. Some of them you'll use 1 time, some of them you'll use 2 times for bosses, but I'll get the ones you use once we get them. After building the rocket ship, we go to Twonkies 3 while dodging meteors and somehow Jimmy's head exploding from space. It's a video game, don't question it. After refueling at a space station, they hit a Twonkies 3. After going around Twonkies 3 and collecting minerals from the planet, we run into our main enemy of the game, the Twonkies. This one, the big form, who's attacking a ship, which involves in the plot, but I'll get into that in a second. Once we escape Twonkies, we go back to school, ignore our friends, and we'll learn that Twonkies are attracted to music and can grow and shrink depending on what kind of music. I wonder if I had a Twonkie, what would my music do to it? After escaping the lab, we just go through the school, collecting stuff, defeating a bully with books somehow. Then we run to our principal teacher who input an emergency. We go back home, and if this gameplay is looking any familiar to Luigi's Mansion, because it is. to my friends with the Luigi's Mansion clone. I didn't know there was such a thing, but I'm glad to see it because if everything else has a clone, why not Luigi's Mansion? Either way, you use this one to suck up the Twonkies. Unfortunately, the Twonkies need to be in their smallest form for you to suck them up. And here's one of my main complaints with the game. When you suck up the Twonkies, you shoot out a laser beam, and you pull like you do in Luigi's Mansion and suck them up. But unlike in Luigi's Mansion, where you basically, you fight with the ghosts and you suck them up, the Twonkies, you have to pull back, and if you're too far away from them, they'll just fall on your face. Unlike in Luigi's Mansion, where you have a chance no matter what. I don't like this, but it's not too bad of a hindrance on the game itself. After you clean out your house with the Twonkies, you go outside to find your neighbor is overrun with Twonkies. You have to go to Shane's house to save him from the Twonkie in his house. There you'll get the other invention you'll be using the most in the game. The Sheen Screaminator. I know it's not what it's called, but I like calling it that. Basically, it shoots out Sheen's horrible singing voice, and it shrinks your Twonkies. This is our main tool for the game. You shrink him with the Sheeninator, and you suck him up. And we know this is the main one because they put on X and Y on the gamepad. Will switch you between the Sheen Screaminator and our vacuum sucker. So, yeah. After we clean our neighborhood, we run into Cindy, who says there's a giant Twonkie in the park. Luckily, we created an invention that just happens to reflect lightning, which is the boss's main use. Ain't that helpful? After defeating the boss, and just side note here, the bosses are pretty easy in this game, we go to downtown to find Twonkies that were overrun downtown. Rinse and repeat. Collect invention pieces, save people, create super invention, defeat boss, end of level. Well, except for this one. Except for this one, you don't fight a boss, you just use a invention you'll never use again to melt a lock and go on through with Carl's dad. Once you get to the park, you do the same thing, help Carl round up llamas, and then you fight probably the boss that gave me the most trouble because it killed me once. This boss, its main thing is it shoots ice pillars at you. Then it slams down on the ice that changes you into an ice cube somehow. And these do actually a decent chunk of health, so you may die if you don't know what you're doing. I died once, mainly because these fucking ice pillars bounce you around like a fucking ping pong ball. After you defeat the boss, you go to Retro World, which is this universe's main theme park, like Disneyland. You run into Sheen, who's upset because Ultralord got taken, and you have to use 50 tokens to get into the ride he was taken into. Unfortunately, you only got 3 from Sheen, so you have to go to the arcade and play classic arcade Rip Boss to get the tokens. And the Rip Boss aren't too bad. You got Space Invaders, you got Frogger, you got Tank, I think. I don't know what this Ultralord is. If someone recognizes it, please comment below. And you got Asteroids and Breakout. After you get the 50 tokens, you go into the Bat Out of Heck, which I'm surprised they're able to pull off, and go save Ultralord. This boss's gimmick is you have to expose him to sunlight. It's kind of, unfortunately, he regenerates health when he's not in sunlight. So basically for this one, you just gotta trap him in the corner and just keep spamming the light beams until you beat him. After you save Ultralord, complete dick battle, you return to Shane and you hear on the radio that the local radio station is being attacked by the Twonkies. You go to the radio station, just repeat what you've been doing the whole game. After you save the disc jockey's asses, he gives you 3 VIP tickets to Gray Star's rehearsal. So Jimmy, Sheen, and Carl go there, but for some reason Jimmy brought the backpack that has all the Twonkies in there. And guess what? Twonkies Blake Roos when they hear the rock music. And you basically, the final boss is one giant Twonkie of all the bosses you faced. It's not too hard, although I did die because that fucking ice Twonkie is a pain in the ass. And that's the end of the game. Yeah, it's not a very long game. About 3 hours tops. But it's fun. I mean, it's not an expensive game. And if your kid's looking for something fun to play that it quite can't handle Luigi's Mansion, give them this. I recommend it. Now, the reviews of the game were mixed, and I could see it, but in my opinion, it's a decent game. If I were to rate it, I would say give it 7 out of 10. My main problems are the controls, which can get annoying, especially the vacuum part. The physics, mainly the loose ball physics on some of the bosses, and the graphics are okay for the most part. But when you have these bomb screen talking about people talking to you, their heads look just weird, man.
So that was Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. It's not the best game ever, but for a licensed game, it's not too bad. I mean, sure, it's a Luigi's Mansion clone, but I haven't really seen many of those. So I guess it kind of makes it unique in a way. I mean, it has flaws, but it's a game where I have had fun. It's a short game, only 3 or 4 hours, like I said. But if you have a kid who just is getting into video games and wants to play Luigi's Mansion, but you think he's a little too young for it, give him this game. He'll probably enjoy it. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because you know how bullshit the YouTube algorithm is. And wow, by my non-existent watch, it says that the THQ Nordic show is going on right now. I need to watch that.